Hello, welcome back to Moff's Galaxy. This is the second session where we'll actually get into play. The first session only has character creation. So if you're interested in that, you can go watch that one. Otherwise, you can start here. I'm Anders. I use the he, him pronouns. I am running this game. And we have some of our players here tonight with us. Rich may be showing up later, but he's got a work thing, so we don't know if he'll be here. But he's kindly helping us record from far away. The miracles of technology. I mean, he's not here anyway. We're all in different parts of the world. I don't know where this is any fancier than anything else. I'm rambling. Let's do a quick round of introductions just to remind everyone of who they are. We don't need to introduce our characters because we have so many characters. But just a quick round for our players. Ian, just so you know, we can't see you. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not, but just so you know.
Yes. Thank you for letting me know.
Cool. I'll start with Sabine.
Yeah, hi, my name is Sabine. I use any pronouns and I need to change my background. So, anything else?
No, probably not.
Favorite Star Wars character?
Yeah, cool. Tad.
Hello, I'm Ted. My pronouns are he, him.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Ian, you're here as well.
That's right. I'm Ian. I use he, him pronouns, and I was very happy to see that Tony Gilroy is supporting the writer's strike right now, instead of writing for Andor season 2.
Yeah, that's good. We hope they get a good deal out of it. Yeah, I haven't followed it closely, but it's unions are good. To get into the game, I'll quickly go through the wishes we had last session. I may be combining this a little bit. We wanted to see boots hit the ground. That's what we're going to do in a few moments. I didn't note who had which wishes, which I probably should have. Someone wanted to see a minor character get into some serious trouble, danger. We wanted to see more of the characters, make some room for RP, and just play more to gain fluency with the game. And I do not expect us to gain full fluency today, but we should at least get somewhere on the way. So I think before we get into play, we should probably stat up the rest of the cell members who are present so that we know who is who and what they can do. We have a couple of them ready. These are the spaceport kids. So yeah, I guess everyone grab a character and stat them up, and whoever is finished first gets to do the last one as well, because there are 4 who aren't quite finished yet.
All right, so we should take a moment to make those folks. Okay, cool.
Is there somewhere the link to your Pinterest board, because that's very useful for just grabbing faces,
I will throw that in the chat. Just give me a moment. I should probably put that in the character keeper somewhere, and I should pick by link. That's the link in the chat. I would put it the smaller tab.
Thank you. I've claimed one of the cells so I don't start working and then somebody else is working on the same thing. So
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I don't understand the thingies here, the skill things. Members the cell gain +1 dot and rig study or smash. And then what does that mean? Do they get 3 dots in these things, or do they get additional dot in these things? Or
They get well, they don't have these.
oh,
Cell
right.
members don't have that.
All right, true. How many dots do they get? 3.
3, and they are. You can't assign them freely.
Okay.
It's gonna go to the right place in the rules. You get 1 in either survey or rig, and 1 in either prowl or clash. and 1 in either consort or smash. Put that in the chat. Plus they get 1 special ability on start special ability.
Anders, should we stat up all of the possible members here? So like all 6?
Just the ones in this cell. So those 6
Okay.
characters should be statted up. So you know who's there on the mission.
Okay, sounds good.
Should I do this? Should I do the another one, or who's doing the
Yeah,
6th one?
if you're ready, you can do the
Yeah.
I have claimed 1, the second one, the one besides Alton Gadas. Because I'll just roll it in there. So I don't know. Well,
So it looks like Daily is still missing one of her takes. And a couple of characters need special ability.
Sorry, which one is missing a contact?
No, contact, no, an action dot. Daily lead. Number 5. He only has rig and class. He should have one more.
Right. Oh, I see. Would have consort. It's gonna be rig. Prowl. And smash. Hey. And done with the adorable Chedrov and mechanic.
Oh.
Made a Java thief, maybe? And an Agnod.
Atlangadas doesn't have a special ability.
Atlangadas was here before we came.
Oh, okay. But he still needs a special ability. I don't know who created it.
I think Rich wanted to create one character because he doesn't have a specialist.
We'll leave that then and let him choose that when he arrives. So a quick rules thing. Almost everything is the same as standard blades. Pushing, assisting, devil's bargains, group actions, flashbacks, all of that is the same. We set position and effect as usual. However, the effects of effect is a bit different. It's much more important in this game than in standard blades, I would say. On standard effect, everything is standard. It's as usual, nothing weird there. However, if you have greater effect, then any roll of a 6 counts as a crit. A 4 or a 5 counts as a 6, and a 1 through 3 counts as a 4 or a 5. So you can't get worse than a 4 if you have greater effect, which is huge, obviously. And you get an extra tick on clocks, which is the usual greater effect, as I recall. On the other hand, if you have limited effect, a crit counts as a 6 counts as a 4 or 5, a 4 or 5 counts as 1 through 3. So you need to roll at least 1 6 to get anything than a failure, basically. And you get 1 fewer tick on clocks. I think this will make trading position for effect a lot more attractive. It will probably more often be the case that it's worth taking the risk of having a worse position in order to get better effect. But we'll see how that turns out. Don't think there were any other big differences. You should know that healing is a lot more difficult. Basically you roll the frictions tier to heal, and think sorry, no, I don't find it. It's a lot more difficult to heal. It's at tier 0 as you are. I don't want to say it's impossible because it's not, but it's really hard to heal. I'm trying to find, yeah. So you're tier 0, which means when you heal, you will roll 2 dice, take the lower. 1 through 3, you can clear a 1 level 1 harm. 4 or 5, you can clear a harm of level 2 or lower. On a 6, you can clear a level harm 3 or lower, and on a crit, you may heal all harm. Of course, you can't crit as you are now. So if you get a level 3 harm, that character will probably have to live with that for quite a while because you'd need to roll double 6s to get rid of that from a single healing roll. Yeah, it's rough. With that out of the way, I think we're actually ready to begin. Begin actual play, not just noodling around with everything else. So to recap, your mission is that you have gone out into the scraplands around Ivy's city. They look partly kind of like this. My background here, there's huge piles of junk. It's not all like this, but a lot of it is. It's not, there's not a lot of people living out there. There are occasional dangerous creatures or less dangerous creatures. There are some people who live out in the scraplands. There are bandits and raiders and scavengers who make their living out there. But the area you are in does not have a lot of people in. You are there to grab what you can from some machinery and perhaps some stock from a factory that has been retooled to produce imperial goods instead of the local variety. You know it's guarded by 1 or 2 teams of guards. You know that the guards have combat droids, and they have a land speeder. That's your intel. You have with you a big, heavy crawler. I have put a picture on the missions tab. That one is in better repair than the one you have, which is fully functional, but it's old. It's not. It doesn't have the heavy armor that this one has. But on the other hand, it has been. You have applied a bunch of scrap to the outside of it, so it's kind of camouflaged a bit. It can hide in the scrap. It's not. You don't immediately see that it's a vehicle. So one thing about this game is that each sector, and a sector is basically a general area, has a security level. It can be null, low, or high. Null is basically there's no security there. Low, there's some security. High is high security. That was kind of a pointless explanation. This is a null security area. There are no checkpoints or anything like that. There's no one who's in control out here. This is they have these guards here to guard these particular supplies, at least for a moment. For the moment, you don't know if they will be sticking around, but you need these things now, and the guards are here. But it's not generally a secure area. So we did the engagement roll last session. You will be starting in a desperate position. but I think we should give you some time to introduce at least a couple of these characters before we get into that. I should note that we have two, in addition to the cell, we have two specialists with us. We have Yale, the kit bash, and we have Echo, the slice job. And I assume that Sabine and Ian will want to focus on your specialist characters, but this is you're free to jump into whatever of the characters you want to. The general the way they describe it in the rules is that generally you have one of the specialists that's your character, and anyone else is like, yeah, I played this character this session, or you can play a couple of them. But I think we should maybe introduce at least Yale, Echo, and the cell leader, who is
Miss Avrek.
Yeah, Cobb Avrek is the cell leader, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So actually, let's start with her. Tad, do you want to introduce her?
Yeah. Cobb Avrek, she's a Ithorian merchant officially in the spaceport. Like officially she trades in spices and seeds and that kind of stuff, but unofficially she's just, she can get anything if you have the right price. And yeah, she's the member of the Roker friction. Leader, she recruited the others, I assume, at least most of them, into the spaceport kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or like older lady probably calls the other kids,
I can imagine. Yeah. So let's hear a bit about Echo. We heard a little bit last session, but maybe refresh us, and if there's anything else about that.
Sure, yeah. Echo is, or was, I guess, came into the galaxy as a very highly sophisticated separatist, like infiltration and espionage droid. And as such, she has a sort of very stylized, like sleek chrome, like vaguely femme exterior. That sense has been, I would say, kind of like, well, we already have a character who's called a Kit Bash, so it's not Kit Bash with the capital K, but parts have been replaced, panels have been sort of like changed out as she has kind of it's been what, some decades, I guess, since the beginning of the Clone Wars, and so she has some wear and tear at this point. Echo came with the leadership, the sort of like ringleader of the friction, Reddick, when he like defected in order to form this kind of resistance cell, the friction. She was like part of his squad or crew. And generally she is like an opportunity for me to explore the idea of a droid becoming a person over time. And so I think that she's kind of like a ship of Theseusing herself into being an individual by kind of like swapping out parts and kind of working, tinkering on herself over time. And so I don't think that she has very much in the way of like social graces. She's still trying to figure all that out. But she's pretty handy with a slice deck and with a blaster pistol. So
Cool.
in this sort of image, she's played by the character Elsie Bray from the video game Destiny, which is I think like big cloak and all, is a big sort of hooded cloak that she wears.
Nice. Cool. Sabine, introduce us to Yale.
Yeah, I'm playing Yale Moss. She, her pronouns. Yale signed up to be a stormtrooper, I guess. No, she wanted to be a TIE fighter pilot. That was because the noise of the TIE fighters, that was like, oh my gosh. She wanted to do that, but when you're a stormtrooper, you don't get to choose what you want to do. No, you get told. And she was didn't take very long for her to go, oh fuck all of the Empire. I'll just do it my own thing here. They didn't like that. She deserted, and now she's here and she's fighting the Empire because you know what? Maybe at one point we will steal a TIE fighter, and that's kind of her dream. And she also tries to build a TIE fighter in her off hours whenever she has the time. But it's kind of hard to build a TIE fighter from scraps, right? Well, you never know.
Nice. Should I assume that Yale is the one who's been driving the crawler?
Yeah, you should, because that's what she's good at, and she would not easily let enemies. I mean, if somebody else absolutely wants to drive, no, she wouldn't. I mean, come on, this is life and death here. The Empire stormtroopers, they can't hit a lot of things, but enough of those shots make a difference anyway. So it's not a joyride, people.
Yeah. So you have driven out into the scraplands to where you know these machines are, these possible supplies. I should remember that if I recall correctly, there was an action that I think Dr. Int took, that you will be able to find a stash containing useful items worth 2 free load. So this will happen sometime during the mission. I should also note that your vehicles or your vehicle that you have this mission is fine, which means that's tier 1, but generally your stuff is tier 0. And these guards, they're not great guards. They're also tier 1, but that means that you will be at a disadvantage for most actions you take against the guards unless you're using the vehicle. The vehicle isn't armed, so when you get into a fight, if you get into a fight, I should say, maybe you manage to avoid that. It's going to be dangerous because you will generally, quite often, you will have reduced effect, and as I just mentioned, that's pretty bad.
Quick question: the vehicle's armored, though, right?
The vehicle is armored. It's not.
Okay.
It's not like super heavy tank armor, but it has enough armor to withstand regular blasters. So you don't need
it's
to...
big and it's armored, is what I'm saying. So it doesn't need to be armed necessarily.
Yeah. So you have arrived at, or you're closing in on the location for these machines that you're here to recover, and when you start to get close, there is, and you know what path you're taking there. When you're starting to get close, there's sudden, you hear a rumbling, the ground shakes, and one of these massive scrap heaps tumbles into your path, or sorry, behind you. So your retreat is cut off. And that's when you spot the one of these guard patrols very close to you. They are walking among the wreckage. They haven't spotted you yet, but you are. They will notice you very soon. So, yeah, what do you do?
Will you remind me what the the logistics of slicing is in Star Wars? Do I need to be like, do I need to have an analog connection to something? Like, do I need to be able to plug myself into something in order to slice it?
Yeah, generally speaking, yes.
Okay.
I tend to view, and this is, I tend to view Star Wars technology as basically it's 1940s technology, but in space. But we have some fancy computers and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So generally speaking, to use communications, if it's not like the personal comm units or a big radio, that sort of thing, you need to be plugged into.
Okay.
I have a
My pitch for the group is that Echo might be able to, if there's anything that's still kind of like has some power or is like still operational out here in the scrapyard, I might be able to go and slice into it and cause it to like make a ruckus.
like
You
distract
know,
them.
yeah, reactivate a ship engine or cause like a tank gun to go off or something just to kind of create a diversion. Yeah.
That's a good point. I have a question. This is more a meta question.
Yeah.
Because I have not a great idea about how Comet goes. We say the scars are tier 1, we are tier 0, so we should avoid it, right? Because I think Yale would know if these are just pushovers and we can just run over them and we're too cautious for no reason, or if caution is a good idea.
I would say that they probably won't. They will not be able to directly harm you while you are in this vehicle. That's one thing. On the other hand, they probably have some sort of since they, and definitely since they have a combat droid with them, they will have grenades or something that can damage the vehicle to make it maybe not inoperable, but so that you have to repair it to move, that sort of thing. If you get into a direct fight with them, you absolutely can fight them if you have suitable weapons. I'm not sure. I don't remember actually what the. I'm going to assume, actually, though you can choose differently, that you are going out with a heavy load. Since you're going out where no one will really care how much equipment you're carrying. However, or actually, we should. Sorry, I shouldn't do that. We should talk a bit about loadout. Loadout it's the usual abstraction of how much stuff you're carrying. You don't need to specify until you use something or you need it. But you do pick your loadout at the start of the mission. You can pick light, normal, or heavy. And unlike standard blades, here your load affects what kind of equipment you can have with you. So if I take the Kit Bash as an example, if you want to have your droid popper grenade, which is listed under heavy load, then you have to have a heavy load. to be able to access that. And same thing, if you want to have your small modified weapon, if you want to be able to have that, you have to have at least a normal load. But if you have a heavy load, then you can access everything that's on a normal load and a light load. The other effect of your loadout is that if you have the heavier your load, the more stuff you're carrying, which means you'll be slower, you'll have a harder time jumping and climbing and doing general acrobatics, that sort of thing.
Am I correct in assuming that we are not super armed because my normal load has a small modified weapon, but I don't see anything else on the other character tabs right now? So
yeah, that is correct. You generally don't have access to a lot of weapons, and this is one reason for why the having the fixer can provide military weapons, provide weapons, which means that everyone actually has proper weapons.
Okay, nice.
But typically you have access to some sort of weapon, but it may not be a great weapon. It could be like you have a small modified weapon that could be like a blaster pistol or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, you generally don't have big heavy weapons unless you're playing the trigger, I think, who has the trigger
has all the weapons.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think the Sparks tab is really slow. I need to think about flipping those up maybe. The Sparks have with a light load they have a legal everyday weapon. This will be something like a vibro knife, maybe a light blaster pistol, and if they go up to a heavy load, they can have an improvised explosive device, but they generally don't have a lot of stuff. However, they also have access to gear bags, which and the gear bags, I should have talked about those earlier, but let's do it now. Gear bags are a special kind of equipment. The regular gear bag that's under a normal load that contains one heavy load item for another team member. So they can carry stuff for each other, which is kind of weird, but it's also kind of fun. So that's the thing. And if they have a heavy load, they can have a heavy gear bag, which contains two heavy load items for other team members. Of course, these things cannot be gear bags in themselves. We don't have infinite bags that contain more bags. But it means that, for example, one of the Sparks could have a gear bag that has a heavy item for could be carrying like the slice job's fine slicing rig. Even though the slice job has a normal load, you can have access to that by someone else carrying it for you. I don't know how this will work out in play. It's interesting, also kind of weird, but we'll see. So what you should do now is pick the loadout for your character. So Sabine and Ian, you should pick for your specialists.
Heavy.
And you should pick for, pick for the cell members that you created. Pick their load.
Is there a thing where we put that in?
It's way down. It's below the grayed out special abilities.
I see. Oh, nice. Cool. Light load, local knowledge. Nice.
Yeah, and in this game, unlike Standard Blades, you don't have the things that don't weigh anything. All items here, even if they're not really items, like local knowledge, they still consume low.
Mhm.
So actually, we're coming up on the hour. So I think we should take a break. Let's take a break until 5 minutes past. So once you feel you're done picking loads for the characters, we will take a break and pick things up at 5 past.
And
See you then.
then we go with Echo's plan, which I like.
Yeah, sounds good.
So I guess I'm gonna be the whole cell. Since Rich is not
I
coming
figure,
for an
sorry, I just want to reply to Rich. Yeah, I figure we can like split up the characters between you depending on which characters are in the immediate action, that sort of thing, if you think that works.
for sure.
So yeah, Rich mentioned in the chat that he's unlikely to join us for another hour. So I think we'll play on and assume that he will join us maybe for the last hour. Cool. One thing I forgot to mention, I think, was that yeah, obviously your crawler makes a lot of noise. So they have heard that someone is approaching, but then there was this big collapse. And I think that landed like partly over your vehicle. So it's not trapped, but it's probably it may be partly hidden. But they know where they're going to look for whatever it was that happened. But now I want to see Echo put her plan into action. So getting out of the vehicle, that's not a problem. Are you going alone? Are you bringing someone else with you? What's your idea?
I think sticking with this theme of her having been a kind of like military operative in the past, and also like developing into wanting to take some kind of initiative for herself. She had just been in the back of the crawler with like I don't know, like a data pad, like just reading, just like reading the newspaper or something. And when this sort of crash from the landslide happens and she can hear muffled outside the voices of the Imperial kind of patrol or whatever, I don't think she tells anyone that she's going. She just is like rolling out of the vehicle and away. So
Cool.
I guess this is I'm probably prowling, right? That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, if you want to stay out of sight, then prowl is a good choice.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that the goal here is to get some distance away from the crawler unseen, find the thing that can be activated that will cause a big commotion, and then do that and get back.
Cool.
I think it would make more sense actually if you actually told us what you were going to do, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to take advantage of the distraction and be confused ourselves. I mean,
It
sure.
probably would make more sense.
Okay.
I don't know that that
Okay.
would that would like
Someone else may be able to guess what you're doing.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Okay, in that case, I think that she's going to relay what she's doing in the tersest possible terms, the most simple, like fewest syllables possible, something as simple as like I'll distract them, be ready.
Okay.
And that's it. Like that's it, and she's gone.
That's fine. That's fine, because otherwise I think somebody else may take action and that would kind of confuse the whole thing.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Cool. So because they are fairly close, and because of your bad engagement roll, you're climbing through garbage that has just like collapsed. It's unstable. It's dangerous. You will be in a desperate position for this, but I think you're doing this sneaking with standard effect.
Okay. I only have one to prowl. Let me just look and see if there's any like gear that I could take that would
You have the usual ways of getting extra dice. You can push yourself. You can
Yeah.
get an assist from someone. You can take a devil's bargain. Yeah.
If I declare a like a piece of equipment, that will help me with the effect, right? Not with the roll.
But then you can trade the effect for a situation for if you know what I mean.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
If I were to declare something like an anti-surveillance unit, I don't know exactly what the specifics of that are, but that sounds like something that might help me avoid being seen.
Yeah, that sounds fair. It could be, in this case, it could be maybe some sort of camouflage cloak or something.
Yeah, I think, yeah, totally. And I like the idea that there's some kind of like radar spoofing situation that's happening here. Like it's sort of just like, yeah, it doesn't make me invisible or cloaked, but it's just like the outside of the cloak is like that she's already wearing is like lined with just like junk so that she can do the Frodo and Sam move where they have the cloak that makes them look like a boulder. Like I have a cloak that just makes me look like I'm part of the junkyard.
Yeah. And I think probably since they're out here where there will be some droids, maybe they also have like one of these troopers has like a droid detector, like a portable droid detector.
Right.
But with the anti-surveillance unit, you are safe from that.
Okay. So is that helping my position or my dice or what is that doing?
I think in this case it will help with your position because you can take since you're more safe, you can take you're less exposed,
Okay.
which I feel is best translated into increasing your position.
In
You're
that case,
in a risky position instead of a desperate.
in that case, I'll do risky standard and I'll push myself for 2 dice.
Cool.
So I'm gonna mark my 2 stress here, and then I'm gonna sneaky. Here I go, sneaking through the junkyard. That's a 4.
That's a 4, so you do it with a consequence. Or I think you avoid detection. You avoid the troopers, but there is like and the consequence which you can resist is that this junk you're climbing through is still unstable. So some of it collapses behind you, and you won't be able to easily get back to the crawler. Like your retreat that way has been cut off.
Okay. Logistically, I know that it's best if that were to not be the case, if I was to resist that, but I also think it makes for a more interesting like story development if that way is closed behind me. So I think I'm gonna let that happen.
Cool. So you have snuck out, and I think part of this role is that you find something that you can slice into. I think this is you find an old speeder truck with like a loudspeaker, a hailing system on it that was used to like go around the streets and sell something probably, and the operator could like talk out, speak and
There's
use
like
this.
there's like a megaphone or something, right?
Yeah. But we'll leave you there with that and
Mhm.
cut to the inside of the crawler. So you're inside. You can see these troopers. They're still some way away, but they are close enough that if you exit the crawler, then they will be able to see you unless you're really sneaky about it. So inside, what do you do?
I think we wait for Echo to do her thing because her thing, because otherwise, if we just act right now, that would be useless. So yeah, power down the speeder. Try to look like a piece of junk that is just chilling out here, nothing to see, just another thingy here. And of course, playing around with my small but modified weapon just in case things go sideways.
As soon as we have opportunity to get out, I think that Asley should look for a route to get out of here.
So basically, you're laying low, waiting. So Yale, you're the veteran here in this group. And I think that it's getting a bit tense with these sparks. They're into fighting the Empire, but they're not as experienced as you are. So how do you try to inspire them, keep them calm? What's your approach to that?
Huh? What? My approach? Well, I do not have. I'm not very good at approaching things like that, as you can see. I will. What will I do? Let's maybe. I will ask them how we would go about sneaking as soon as try make plans for as soon as Echo does her thing. How will we proceed then? What will happen? What's the best way forward? Who does what? Like just make plans and get maybe into a analysis paralysis or something like that. Because I have no idea what I'm doing here. I'm not very good socially. I want just machines. I'm fine with machines, but people are like, okay. Okay.
So Cobb, you're the leader of the cell. You probably like sneaking around from guards and that sort of thing. That's probably something you've done before, but it's a bit more serious than what you're used to. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, I will just keep myself and my people busy, start giving them things to do. Hey, so Asley, you have your orders, then yeah, Chadri, you're small, you're in charge of that. This vehicle keeps working, and
hey, that's my vehicle. Okay. Just saying.
Okay, fine. You know what? Plan B. As soon as we get to move, Chadri will try to sneak to. Well, if we don't get into the war, into the shootout, and distraction work, Chadri will get to under their vehicle and blow it up.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that. I like that plan. Maybe if distraction works, so some of you should go outside and create more distractions. Just
yeah.
Because we want to avoid fighting these guys. They have a battle droid. I haven't seen one of these. I haven't seen one of these ever, really, but heard they are pretty tough.
Yeah, Delhi, Altrangadas, and Tone, you're in charge of more distractions. Everybody understands their mission.
Cool.
Oh, Trini.
So we'll cut back to Echo. You have this loudspeaker system. Now you just need to get it working.
Right. So like the slice deck just like unfolding from her arm, right? Like it's just sort of unrolling and there's a whole like a sort of like switchboard operating situation going on here. I guess this is a setup action for what they're gonna do next. Is that
Oh,
right? Like,
yeah, sure, that works. Yeah.
okay. Well, in that case, I'm proposing, you know, she's taking out all the plugs and she's sort of like, you know, getting ready to like hot wire like little you know, USB ports are coming out of her fingers and stuff, and she's getting ready to slice into this like speaker buggy, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, so do you think that is rig or interface?
Either works.
Yeah.
I think you're better at interface, so and I'm not going to say that that doesn't work.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, I'm going to I'll do a setup action with interface.
Yeah, cool. I think you're in a risky position for this. You're not like immediately exposed to danger, but something could still go wrong outside your control.
Okay.
And I think standard effect.
Okay. I'm just gonna go with my 2 dice from interface and we'll see how it goes.
Ooh,
Oh
so
boy,
badly.
badly.
So this means I think you get a choice here.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's the reason you could use this setup is that there's some battery power still in this vehicle, but you get a back surge of energy when you hook up to it, and you have a choice. You can do it and take level. Think this is level 2 harm, like it's a serious shock. So you can do that, or you can quickly jack out and jack back in again, but you will be in a desperate position because there's a risk of another shock. You'll have to be quick and careful about it.
Yeah. I'll accept going to a desperate position, I think. This does mean that I didn't succeed in
Yeah.
blasting the music, right? Yeah, okay.
But you get to try again.
Okay. Can I just do that right away?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. So pulling back out in time, just you know, in the way that you would sort of like pull your hand back from something hot, right? Um, all the little like cables sort of retracting, and she just sort of like gathers herself and um her like vocal modulator or whatever, she like deliberately makes the sound of taking a deep breath. Um, and yeah, this time I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna push myself once more.
Cool.
Um,
So, and the reason you're in a desperate position here is that this takes some time, so that patrol gets closer to the crawler.
right, totally. So I marked my 2 more boxes of stress, and this time I'm going with 3 dice.
Ooh,
no good.
no good. This is the worst thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get the distraction you wanted, and I think there are 2 consequences here, and you can resist either or both or neither of them, but you will have to resist them separately if you want to do that. One is that you still get a shock, but it's just a level 1 harm. So that's one consequence. And the other is that they will notice you. You don't get the big distraction that you wanted, but someone spots you. That someone notices that you're up there.
Okay, I guess I'm just the distraction now. Yeah, so like the feedback from the electric shock, you know, there's like heat burns across her sort of chassis, and you know, it might be maybe like throws her some distance, right? And she's getting to her feet and she's unstrapping the blaster from her thigh.
But these are complications from slicing, right? So you would take or +1d to resist that. So
yeah,
that's true. That's true. Yeah.
So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to resist the consequence of harm, but I'm not going to resist the consequence of being noticed, because now I can sort of turn that to being a distraction, right?
Yeah. You can still do that, but you have failed in the setup action, so you're not giving like the mechanical benefit of that to the others.
Right. Okay. Well, in that case, I will roll. What would I be doing for
I don't know. What do you think makes most sense?
It probably makes the most sense for it to be I guess it sort of depends on how an electric shock affects a droid. You know, if it's just something to like power through, then maybe it's resolve. But
it could be that. Powers could be if it's like your physical systems resisting it. It could be insight if it's like I don't know, rerouting power internally to reduce the effect of the shock, or that you still manage to pull out in time to not get the worst of it, that sort of thing.
Sure. Yeah. Well, that's the way that we narrated it before, was the kind of like quick reflexes, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, I will go with insight, as she's like predicting what's going to happen before it happens.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what, 3 dice, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
See if you roll better now. Oof.
Not great.
Okay. So you're taking 4 more stress.
Does that mean I'm out?
Not
no,
quite.
I'm so
you have
close.
one stress left.
Okay, and maybe this is like, you know, she's just like shunting the electricity like out of her body, right? And so maybe there's like a big lightning discharge like around her, and that's what leads to her getting caught. Man, I know that we're supposed to play our characters like we're driving stolen cars and all that, but like we're here to do it, you know? We're here to
Absolutely. Cool. So let's cut back to inside the crawler. I think like Yale and Bob, you're like up front, looking out through this partially obscured front window. Do you call it that on a vehicle? I don't know. Windscreen is what it's usually called. Yeah. And you see a couple of the troopers are like pointing up towards the scrap piles on the side, and they're pulling their blasters out. They only have like blaster pistols, but the others are still moving towards the crawler. So what is the plan now?
So the distraction seems to have failed, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, some of them are going away, but most of them are coming towards us. Yeah, I guess. I'll look at Cobb and say, get out some of your people so that they can move around. I'll drive over them.
Well. You heard your driver. Out.
So who's jumping out and who's staying inside?
Sure, we all get out.
Oh, cool. So the whole cell gets out, and Yale, you kick the crawler into gear. So what's your objective? Are you trying to like run over the guards? Are you trying to scatter them? Are you trying to provide cover for the others?
I'm driving the truck like a stolen car. I'm driving the truck over these guys. If they want to get out of the way, that's well, okay. Let's see if they can. But because I don't think if we're not going to be sneaky here. This is not the sneaky has failed. Sneaky has failed us. So we need to do damage, I think, to our opposition. And I'm driving over the troopers. Sorry, troopers. I know you're conscripted. And you don't have a choice, but neither do I.
Yeah, I think that Daly and Miss Avrak will shoot at them to give you some assist.
Cool.
To distract them a little bit.
So I think only one person can assist.
Okay, sure. Sorry. Don't remember that rule, but I believe you.
So Daly should have some sort of weapon then.
Cool. She has it in her picture, so I will mark it. Yes. Makes sense.
I think legal
everyday weapon. Yes.
Fine here, like a blaster pistol, just to give some extra cover or some extra fire.
That also seems pretty reckless. So she might get +1 effect.
Oh, sorry. Is that an ability?
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, but that +1 effect when you do something reckless.
Yeah.
I think that only applies when they are doing the action.
Okay.
Sure.
Fine. Okay.
So you're driving. And you're trying to hurt them. That's your goal here.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, I think that's my goal.
Yeah. So what? I think you're in. I think you're in a risky position because they probably have weapons that can harm the crawler, but you're still relatively protected. And you will have I think you have standard effect. Like the crawler is big and heavy, but it's also not super fast, and it takes it a while to get up to speed.
Yeah.
So they will have time to get out of the way. So risk is standard.
That's fair. What do I use to drive here?
The ones that seem most reasonable to me are rig and finesse.
So it doesn't matter actually because I have 2 in rig or finesse, so it's a combination. I guess so. I can also push myself, right? So I would have 3 dice.
Yeah, plus you have the assist, so that would get you to 4 dice.
That's cool. I like 4 dice. 4 dice is good. Now, dice roller, please be nicer to me. Yeah. I'm not a slicer. No, you're not.
Oh my god.
Wow.
The dice roller hates all of you.
We need a new dice roller.
Yeah, blame Rich. He's the one who set up the dice room, not me.
The dice roller is missing its parent. Now I understand.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you use Rich's dice room if he's not around? No, it's okay. So, okay.
So that's on a risky. Yeah. You're not going to. They get out of the way. I think the consequence here is that the ground you're driving on, it's not stable, and like it's a bit soft in parts and that sort of thing. So you will get momentarily stuck. It's not like you can't get it moving again, but you will be immobile for a little
Can
while.
I resist that consequence, please?
Yes, you can
Thank you.
absolutely resist.
Because I think I know my way around this vehicle to just push a few more buttons to give me and do a little twiddle on the wheel. Yeah, they have wheels on the wheel thingy, and then I will get out of there. I think I'll use rig for this because I know the vehicle, how it moves and how it works and how to get traction with it, right?
That would be insight in that case.
Inside, yes, that's
Yeah,
2 dice.
because you resist with the
Yes, you're right, but that's still 2 dice.
Yeah.
And that means I rolled just these 2 dice, right?
Yeah.
Rich will return to you, okay? Be nice. We'll tell him you've been a good dice room. If you do that now, okay? Yep, there's the
Yeah.
6, see?
0 stress. So
Nice.
that's you could spot that soft spot and avoid it or just drive through it, no problem. But the troopers, the guards here, they have scattered. So Cobb, you and your cell, you're out of the vehicle. Yale has driven it through this squad of guards, but they have scattered. They avoided being run down. So, and now you're kind of not directly out in the open, but you will be exposed and they will spot you. What do you do?
Huh. So yeah, well, it depends on people. I think 2 people have their orders what to do. Well, the rest, I think we should just, get into some cover and provide some distraction or not get shot.
So what's your, are you trying to actually take down some of these guards? Are you trying to keep them from being able to attack you? What's your objective?
Yeah, we want them to, we want to keep them from being able to attack us and the people who are actually sneaking, because I've sent 2 people on sneaking missions.
Cool. Yeah. So who is, I think this is a group action.
Sure.
Feels like.
Those were...
So who is leading this? Is it Cobb who's leading, or is it someone else?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. It sounds like you're going for clash, like you're shooting, maybe throwing junk for those people who don't have any weapons, unless everyone is
on a second choice, someone else should lead shooting, probably.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to be good at it to lead. It's just that the one who leads is the one who's going to take stress for the people who fail.
Oh, yeah. In that case, yeah, I'm fine with it. Yeah. Yeah, so how much do we roll for clash here? How do group actions work? I forgot that.
It means when you do a group action, everyone involved makes a roll with the same action. The whole group gets to use the best result, but the person who leads takes 1 stress for everyone in the group action who failed. So everyone who gets a 1, 2, 3, they take 1 stress.
Okay. So yeah, let's start with.
You don't need to. Oh, yeah, you can check off stress if you want to push yourself.
Yeah.
but you can't assist someone who is in the same group action.
I can't. Okay, yeah.
You cannot do that.
Yeah, makes sense. So let's start. Wow. 5 and 6.
Nice.
Someone's
was
having
that?
good. That was the first one, yeah. That was Miss Eric. Now, Altan Gedes. I'm not even sure how to pronounce it. Let's also go for 2. That's fail. So that's a 1 stress.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 stress to him for pushing. Then Asli does not count.
It's two stress for pushing.
Yeah, Tone, I guess. Wait, Tone's not mine. Hey, Ian, do you want to act for Tone or should I?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. I've got to find them on the sheet. Okay, cells.
I will roll for Delhi in the meanwhile. And she also failed.
Cool. And mark off stress if they push themselves.
Yes.
That's two stress for pushing.
Yeah, I'll mark. I'll have Tone push himself since he doesn't have anything in clash.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to mark 2 points here.
Then he gets to roll 1 die.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go, Tone. Tone Vess.
Oh, and this is risky standard. I forgot to set that at the beginning. So we'll go risky standard.
Oh, Tone. Oh, buddy.
That's also a miss. So that's another stress for Ms. Oreg. But you did get a 6. Someone got a 6, so that means everyone counts for the 6. So you do it. You lay down enough fire, throw enough junk. If anyone is actually firing, you should check off your weapon. Most of it, sorry,
I've done that.
Yeah, cool. You shoot at them. They are scattering from the crawler, taking cover, so they are not able to attack you right now. A couple of them are like firing back a little bit, but nothing serious. You can get out of the line of fire easily enough. And that provides enough cover for the sneakies. So what are they doing now that they have enough cover to move without getting shot?
Yeah. Well, the orders were, again, they're not super binding for you, but for Asley, the order was to, go survey, sneak out and go survey another route out of here.
Cool.
And for Chadre, it was to blow up the trooper's car.
Yeah. Cool. So let's go with Chadri first.
Yeah.
So Chadri has been given enough cover to be able to move forward towards this land speeder.
Yeah.
That was staying a bit behind the troopers or the guards. Now it's moving forward, staying out of the way of the crawler. But yeah, Chadri will have an opportunity to do something to the speeder. What's the attempt?
I mean, first was sneak through it, but if I don't have to sneak, I will just take my explosive and leave it there. Put it on the under their speeder. Improvised explosive device.
Yeah, I would say that if you're willing to, let's see. Yeah, you have enough cover to get to the speeder. Yeah, I think you can do that. This sounds like a smash, unless you want to go for something else. Like you're
I
trying
thought
to
it's
blow up the speeder.
yeah, I mean it could be rake or smash to like set off explosive, but they are both same, so
Yeah,
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're trying to smash. You have one die in smash. Are you? And this
Yeah,
is
I used to stress, or I mark them.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't say it. Oh,
and
I
this
unmark
is
them.
you,
I mean,
you are in a desperate position here
yeah.
because you're sneaking up to the speeder while it's moving, and there's like blaster fire going everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well,
you will have great effect on this, or actually standard effect, I think, with an improvised explosive on a speeder. That's standard effect.
so that means that with my roll of 4, 1, 2. Wait, standard effect. That means that I succeeded with standard effect.
Nice. Cool. So Chadri gets up to the speeder, attaches this explosive, rolls away this improvised explosive device, detonates. The speeder
Beep, beep,
wobbles a bit and then veers off and crashes into the one of these huge scrap heaps. Let's cut back to Echo. You're on top of this scrap heap. A couple of the troopers are like firing generally in your direction, and they're kind of moving, like one of them advancing, the other one providing fire while they're climbing the scrap heap to get closer to you. And there's a full firefight going on down there.
All right. If it doesn't say on my ear list, it says here loadout, and I've gone through the loadout thing, and it doesn't seem like I have a weapon of any kind.
You
Is
could
this
use the thing that Dr. Int set up with the network, that you will find a stash containing useful items. That could be something you find right now.
is that all right with everyone?
Oh.
You okay with that? Okay. I don't know exactly how to mark that down, but
I don't think we need. I think we can remember that. It's preload, so it doesn't cost you anything from your loadout. I don't know if there's a good space for making notes. There really isn't. I think,
okay, then
yeah.
I guess what this is does it make sense that I find the cache right here where I'm standing, or do I need to go and like get to it?
No, it could be right where you are. That's perfectly fine.
Okay. Well, in that case, I want to sort of like retcon here that Echo was always carrying a kind of like long bundle on her back. And you know, after this kind of like electrical discharge that's sparked off, and as she hears the sort of sounds of the firefight starting to, you know, kick off below her, she's just like, all right, I guess it's loud. I guess we're going loud. And she unwraps from the bundle like a long rifle, like similar to a sort of like Tuscan style rifle that shoots like a focused version of those Geonosis like sonic blasts. that the Geonosians have. Yeah, and she's gonna pop back up over the top of the hill and I guess clash with these troopers who are coming closer to her.
Yeah. Risky standard, I think.
Okay.
You are exchanging fire, but you have some cover and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So you
just
can't
looking to
push
see
yourself because you don't have enough stress.
right. I mean, I guess I could, but then I wouldn't be any, I think that I definitely want to picture this as her being, just like stray electricity sort of like running wild, like over her and throughout her as she's sort of still like coming back from the effects of this shock. And yeah, feeling a little precarious, right? She's just like trying to, again, like deliberately making the sounds of breathing in order to help her focus, so that she can take these shots. I'm gonna roll with just 2 dice. Roller, be kind, please. No.
There's no use pleading with a roller. That's
yeah.
That's bad.
It's bad.
Well, the obvious consequence here is that you take a shot. You take a hit. You're going to take level 2 harm from a blaster shot, unless you resist it.
Right. I mean, I guess I have to try, right? Like,
do you have access to armor? I would assume not, but maybe.
Probably not.
No.
No, I'll just try to resist with prowess, I guess, and I have to roll a 6 on this, don't I?
Otherwise, you will be stressed out. Yeah.
Okay. Well, here I go.
Or someone. Oh wait, sorry. Yeah.
Well, I didn't. So
yeah, someone else could have protected you, but there was no one who was really in a position to do that. So
I'm ready for Echo to be taken out of this fight in order to sell how dangerous the mission that we're on is.
But this is also, you're out of the scene, like so you won't be able to act anymore in the scene. But this could be you getting away or like or something like that.
Okay, yeah. So she's taking shots at these troopers as they're getting closer, and she just like can't. It's like the video game controllers sometimes develop stick drift, right? Where it's like one of the analog sticks will be like pulling in a direction, and you can't. You have to be putting like backwards pressure on it in order to keep it from doing that. And that's what's happening here. Like the electricity that's playing through her body is like causing her aim to just go haywire, right? So it's just like shot after shot going wide, and eventually they're just like right on top of her, right? And she just like throws herself backwards and rolls down the hill, I think, covering herself with her cloak and like praying that no one is going to come down here and look too closely.
Nice.
Do I need do we need to give her a scar or something? Like,
she will get a trauma because she's been stressed out. But you don't need to decide that right now.
Okay.
But Echo is out for the rest of the mission. So let's cut back to Yale. You drove through the squad of troopers. They scattered. There's a firefight. The speeder has been taken out. Yeah. Okay. What's your?
Okay.
What do you do now?
I think I need to assess our chances here. We're looking for this derelict, and we want to get assets from it, right? That's
Yeah,
our mission.
it's like old machinery and maybe
Yeah,
supplies from the factory.
And were these the only guards, or are there more?
There
Do we
may
know
be
that?
another squad of guards, but you don't know how large of an area they're guarding. They could be
Okay.
miles away. They could be fairly close. You don't know.
Okay, I'll drive forward. I'll grab whoever is on the ground to come with me. Whoever is too far away, well, I can't help that. I need people to carry out the loot. We're going there, we're going in, and we're leaving. And if other guards come up, we are leaving. Because I don't get any signals from Echo. We don't know where she is. We can't go look for her because I mean, I like her, but I hope she can take care of herself. She would live to the Clone Wars, so hey. Yeah, so we have to do this quick and messy or not at all. That's
Cool.
mine.
So your goal is to get as much as you can of what you came here.
Yep. Yeah, first of all, I need people from the cell because I will stay in the vehicle to drive away if necessary.
Yeah.
And be the getaway driver, but somebody needs to load the ship. So I'm hoping that I can catch some of that little, maybe not the Java and the Chatrafan, but others who are bigger and can carry more. Not to be speciesist about that, but you know.
Yeah. Chadri is definitely close enough to be able to get you. The others Uzli is off doing the scouting thing, like trying to find a different route.
Okay.
I think the others are kind of tied down in this firefight. You could, so if it's just you and Chadri, then you can just drive off and do it. And we'll make a roll to see how well it goes. If you want to pick up someone else, I think you need to do something to get to them, because right now there's like they are in a firefight with 3 troopers and a battle droid, and that's.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
I would try to pick up Cobb actually, because she seems large enough and not a fighter, right? Well, I mean, Alton Gadas and Daly would actually be better carrier, but they also are the only ones who can shoot. So I would like to get at least Cobb, because Chadri is nice, but Chadrafana about half the size of me, and I don't know how much she can carry on her own.
Yeah,
I need some, at least some other. I would like to have at least some other person who's big enough. And Isorians are about human size, so that should help.
No, Ithorians are like like at least head or more taller than humans.
It's true. They're pretty big. So yep, I will try to catch Cobb. I assume we have comm links, so I can tell her that I'm going to come and get her. The rest should tie down the troopers. And
the comm unit is a thing on your loadout. So if you want to use comms with someone, you will need to check that off. So it will count against your load limit.
Okay, I'll check it out because comms are important.
But you don't need to check it off until, obviously, until your community.
I mean, I guess you can also take Tone, because he's also not a very good shot.
Yeah, but he's an Arknaut. And Arknaut's also small. I take Tone. Arknauts are good luggers. That's true. I'll take whoever I can get with
so I guess Cheddar is also there, so we are just leaving Delhi and Altan Garas.
The guy.
Shoot, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, the ones who can actually shoot.
Yeah.
And Uzli's still sneaking around, which is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, Javas can carry a surprising lot of stuff, but
cool.
Yeah.
So you're trying to pick them up. I think we want a roll for that.
Yep.
So are your main thing here is probably driving, right? So you're still rolling with rig. Is someone assisting Yale here for another die?
That would be good because you could just run up to me, right? Whoever has some stress left.
Yeah. So probably Thone or Chadri.
Sure.
So I'm rolling 3
Yeah.
dice, right?
Yeah. And this is, I think you're in a risky, I think it's risky standard.
Okay, cool. Okay. Dice roller, you know what you got to do, please.
Oh,
Wow.
that's a crit.
Wow.
I
Fine.
think what happens is that you, like the speeder has crashed. You turn the crawler around, and you can like drive straight through the cover that the troopers have taken. So they need to scatter again. You don't run them down, but I think you kind of clip the battle droid to like
Yay!
send it spinning. It's not out of the fight, but it's not fast enough getting out of the way. And I think on a crit you can get anyone with you that you want to.
I get the
but-
whole team. They can shoot out of the back of the vehicle.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
like
except
Altangadas and Daily are like hanging on the outside. I don't think there are a lot of like firing ports, but with all this scrap on the outside, it's easy to cling to there. They're firing away at these troopers as you drive towards the actual location of the scrap. It's not far from where you are right now, so the guards will be able to catch up to you if it takes too long to load. But now you have an opportunity to load some of the stuff.
okay.
And that sounds like a group action again.
Mhm.
I'm not sure what's a suitable action here. Or it could be someone rolling command, like telling everyone else what to do. That could also work.
Nobody of us has command, but we could use study or survey or something like that to find the proper loot that we want to take.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody here has command.
Survey works. I think that's better than study because you're not like looking at them closely. It seems more like, yeah, that one, that one, that one, that sort of thing. Yeah. So is everyone doing this, or is someone like keeping guard, making sure the troopers don't sneak up on you? What's the idea there?
Sure, let someone let's have a well, it doesn't really matter. So let's say Tone takes a lookout, and everybody else carries stuff.
Cool. So
and let's say that Delhi is in charge.
Cool. So Daily, she knows how to do this. She's she's stolen stuff before.
Yeah. Yeah, very much. Before they took away her ship and killed her crew, and now she's in the resistance.
Yeah. Cool. So let's split them up between you. So Sabine, you'll roll for Yale. I assume.
Yale's staying in the car.
Isn't he helping? Is he just?
She is helping by keeping the car, the vehicle ready to take off.
Okay.
You don't take the driver, because if the driver is somewhere in the thing and then something happens and you can't drive off, that's
Okay.
bad
Cool.
strategy.
So maybe she's helping, like taking the things in and packing them while the others are.
Yeah, or
carrying.
maybe you could do lookout.
Yeah, I'll do lookout and then.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'll look out and if something comes up and we need to leave, I will tell everybody to, cart this. We get out now.
Cool. So Yale's doing the lookout. The whole crew, the whole cell is doing the packing things in, except for Uzli, who's away somewhere else.
Yeah.
Well, everyone pick a character to roll for.
Yeah, so Miss Everett spends 1 stress and gets 1 5.
Cool.
Continuing with Deli herself. 2 stress. Oh, 1 6.
You're rolling survey. She's not getting to roll 2 dice unless you're
Oh
rolling.
no, I'm spending 2. Sorry, I told that, but I didn't mark it.
Yeah, but that only gets her to 1 die.
Oh, okay. Wait, you can
with,
spend unlimited. No, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you spend 2 stress to get 1 extra die.
Oh, yeah. Oh no, yeah. Never mind.
So,
yeah.
So Daily spends 2 stress. She gets to roll 1 die.
Nothing.
So, yeah, cool. So Ian, do you want to jump in and roll for someone?
Yeah, who's left? Can I roll for Tone again?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. Similar situation with Tone. He's pushing himself. I think that this is like, I don't know that the Spaceport kids have like done, like, I don't know if they've been like involved in this kind of thing before, but I definitely think that like it doesn't seem like Tone has, because Tone seems really stressed out by all of this. So yeah, I'll have Tone push himself to roll 1 survey.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's 1. That's another stress for Daily.
Yeah.
What's the best result we have so far? Is it a
Chedri got 6.
Nice.
Incredible.
Was that Altangadas? And or was that
Entangulus. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Entangulus. Okay, I will roll, I guess. 4.
Yeah,
so
Chadri doesn't need to push because you can't get any better thing. I don't think it's worth pushing. I think it's better to just take the 2. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, you get a 6. Yeah, you load up all the important parts. The troopers are coming closer. The battle droid is up front. But you've loaded up all you need. Now I think we cut to Uzli, who is trying to find the way for you to get out of here. So let's Ian, do you want to roll for Uzli?
Sure. Yeah.
So how has Uzli been looking for the route here?
That's Sabine's character.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. We switched them around, and Ian doesn't have any other character, so go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead and let the dice roller maybe show you some grace at last.
Do its worst, yeah.
I mean, also you can pick find local knowledge if it helps. Like you have enough loadout.
Oh yeah,
or local knowledge.
True. Yeah, I think that probably makes the most sense. Yeah, find local knowledge and survey probably is what counts here. So let's see, mark that on the. That's already marked. Okay, cool. All right. Does that include?
They can
Does
push
that
themselves.
improve my? Does that improve my my effect here?
Yeah, I think you will have great effect, and you're in a controlled position because you're out of the immediate fight.
Right. Okay.
So, or actually, no, it's probably risky because there is some time pressure.
Right.
You need to you can't take as much time as you like just walking around and oh, this seems like a nice place. You need to get it done.
Okay. So this is what, risky great because of the local
Yeah.
knowledge? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, so I think, I think that this is just like Uzli has been frequenting the cantina and has been like talking to junkers and figuring out what is the like byways of the scraplands here. That's where the local knowledge is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take what, 2 dice for this since
If you're
I pushed
pushing
myself.
yourself, yeah.
Well, since I pushed Uzli. I mean, it sort of doesn't make sense that Uzli would be like, taking a leisurely time here. All right. Yeah, here I go. 2 dice. Oh my.
Man. Um, yeah,
God
that's
bless.
terrible. But you are you're in a risky position. I think, yeah, I think what happens is that Uzli realizes that there's some sort of junk creature, some creature here that's stalking them. So they can either break off this attempt, take take the failure, and the consequence then would be that that this creature is following them. So that's something they have to deal with. That's the one option. The other option is to, you can run across this narrow, or through this narrow gap here. I'm sure that will be fine. It's not that's not dangerous. That would allow you to roll again, but in a desperate position because you will be this thing will be actively hunting you, like really rushing after you, but maybe you can still do it.
At this point, I don't trust myself, and this is not, I didn't make this character, so I think I should defer to Sabine's judgment.
Snake creature. You can hunt them down and later and sell some of their scales. Oh, little. This is gonna be fine. This is what they're there for anyway. So if Woodley dies, then that's well, they're highly motivated anyway. So
yeah, I guess so.
Roll up your sleeves. Fight the snake.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, I guess caught between an imperial and a snake place. I'm gonna choose the snake place. So I'll accept the desperate position.
Cool.
Nice.
I think the way I've understood that this works is that you're rolling again, which means you still have the effect of your push.
Okay.
So you're still rolling 2 dice, but you are in a desperate position, and you still have your greater.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I think these people are maybe not like particularly qualified to be doing this work, but I don't want to portray Uzli as like stupid, you know. So
Mhm,
it's just
mhm.
it's just they're just sort of like weighing up the odds
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
their head, and in you know in their silly little Muppet head, and
Mhm.
yeah, here goes Jesus Christ, here goes
Come
two
on.
dice.
Come on.
Oh
Hey,
my God!
Oh
that's a
yeah.
six.
That's a
Wow.
Nice.
6.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I think
Okay.
this it is like a snake-like creature with these tiny little clawed arms. Uzli runs through this narrow gap, and the snake creature is just wide enough that it can't get through easily. So it gets
Huh.
kind of stuck in there. Uzli can scale a trash hill and can spot like, yeah, we can go through here. There's a gap. So you have the way out. You have the stuff. Now I think it's just a question of getting away before the troopers can do anything to the vehicle or the crew as they're getting into the crawler. So I think we're back to Yale probably driving.
Yep. I have a droid popper.
Mm-hmm.
And since we don't have echo, which is actually rather fortuitous, I can just use it.
Yeah.
And to take out their as I don't know, to give me a better position or whatever. So this is equipment, and I have no idea. I can mark how much of the stuff I can actually mark.
That's it says to the right of where you picked your load. It says how much load you have still available.
I still have 8, and when I click lots of 8. Okay, that doesn't weigh a lot, which is fine. And I hope this is not one of the droidicas where you have to really slowly roll up the droid popper to take them out.
No, it's not. It's not a droidica. It's not that heavy a battle droid. But it's something fancier than the BT-1. It's like not quite an IG, but more like an IG. But yeah,
like a
I think
commando
using
droid, something like that.
The droid popper, that means that you have you can be in a controlled position, I would say. Or sorry, no, you're probably not in a controlled position. Or
really.
actually you are. That gives you enough time that like you can spot them. You can see the battle droid is coming up front. You use the droid popper, and that will either take out the droid or at least delay it enough that you have time to get everyone aboard and drive away. But you still need to make the roll.
Oh yeah, I still need to make the roll, but yeah. Okay.
So you're on I would say that you're controlled standard.
I will still stress myself to get another die. So I roll with 3 dice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Come on. One final roll. Yes.
Nice.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Uzli is like coming in, telling you where to go. You drive away from the troopers are firing their blaster pistols at you. It obviously has no effect on the heavy armor of the crawler. You pick up Uzli and you get back to Ivy City.
Can we pick up Echo?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Sure.
Cool. I mean, there's a 6 there.
Or
So
Echo will just have to walk back, but that's but you can pick up.
I like the idea of us picking up Echo because I mean we're a team, right?
Yeah.
Leaving her
This
behind.
is Echo getting back into the crawler, still kind of like all jittery and stuff, and like writing down in the little hollow journal, like experienced a new feeling today, embarrassment.
welcome to the sentient species.
let's take a 5-minute break. We've gone past the hour, so 5 minutes, and we'll reconvene after that.
I'm going to watch Eurovision tonight, the finals. So
Sorry, you're going to?
I'm going to watch Eurovision tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
It's the finals. So
Yeah, I'm playing. So
oh, okay, that's fair.
What, you're playing at Eurovision?
no. No, I'm
Wow.
playing games.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah, I would not say no to that. Though I
Well,
don't know what I would play because
and
I
you
don't
know, also a lot of the acts this year started by lying on the ground. So it seems it's not that stressful.
I can do that. I can lie on the ground.
I bet that any of us here could lie on the ground with the best of them. Echo in particular is
Well,
very good at lying on the ground.
you know, there are real pros who just lie on the ground all day getting it.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure they have them in Hollywood. It's a probably like actual thing that someone does.
Those folks on The Walking Dead who had to like lie still in zombie makeup for hours in the hot sun. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that at a certain point you probably just wished you were dead. Or the point where you could actually get up and attack someone would be like, oh god, finally.
right, and the director's like, yes, that's good. Use that. It'll make it more convincing.
Cool. So you successfully did your resupply mission. That means you get +1 supply. I will tick that off on the fixer. And you also get an asset, and this is an attached asset. So this is a person. And what I assume here is that you get some equipment that someone can use to help you. Sorry. So the attached assets, they are like minor characters. They're kind of like the experts in standard blades, like the cohorts who are experts. They can come along on a mission, but they have like one specific mechanical thing they do. Sorry.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Maybe we found a droid.
Ooh, yeah.
That could be an asset. So
absolutely. So assets have one of 4 types. They can be medical, which means they help people heal. That's useful. They can be Overwatch, which means that if they go on a mission with a cell, you gain 1 extra intel for rewards, but you also get +1 pressure. Not sure what the explanation for the extra pressure there is. Maybe because it's a bit more high profile with more people involved. They can be demonstrators. If they go on a mission with a cell, you get +1 morale, but also +1 pressure. There, the extra pressure is more logical feel. Or they can be savvies. They give +1 die to acquire assets, so they don't go on missions. Instead, they basically give the fixer a bonus on getting assets. So I think we should. I think I want to give the choice to the fixer here. So Ian, what kind of asset do you want?
I think I'd like to make this like some kind of like navigation droid, like, you know, similar to like an astromech, maybe. Maybe not for starships, but like similar type of droid, and that would, I think, be good for Overwatch, I think.
Cool.
I'll try to come up with the droid's naming convention.
I just run in Overwatch here, and you can name it. And if you want to add a description, you can add a note. Is probably the best way to give some extra detail. Cool. And since you succeeded with the mission, you avoid the penalty there. Yeah. I think we should do some.
I just want to like call out that I loaded up the Don John like Star Wars name generator with the droid thing, and the first thing that it gave me was ER0-5 or Eros. That's
Oh,
that's the name of the droid.
Nice.
All right, this is what under the
Yeah, it's at the bottom of the fixers
Okay.
column on the leadership tab.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you. Please continue.
So we have half an hour left, even with taking some time for stars and wishes, we have a bit more time. I think I'd like to do some RP scenes. We got a little bit in of that, but I think it would be. I think we could do some more scenes. So I'll go in the order I see you here. So that's Sabine, Ian, Tad. Pick any character you want to have a scene with. Describe something, who they're interacting with, what they're doing, that sort of thing. So Sabine, you go.
I think maybe in the aftermath of the mission, Yale and Echo could have a scene where we're trying to figure out how to fry or repair some of Echo's electrical discharges. If that's cool with you, Ian?
Sure. Yeah. Do you want me to be like present in the scene, or like?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I can't. No, I think you should be present in the scene. We need to talk about this. You know your body yourself, right? And just helping you.
Sure. I think that she's operating in like safety mode though, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That, like,
okay. Nice.
So she doesn't have like any of the scant personality that she has developed. It's just like talking to Siri or something like that.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, I think will try to coax out a little of the Echo personality here. Because I mean, this is repairing stuff that she can do that in her sleep, but she kind of wants to get a feeling for her crewmate here, right? Like what she would, because Echo seems to be someone at least has a personality, so you should get to know what they're about and why they're here, and how to best relate to them. She's heard a motivational speaker, one of the social persons, Gensly or Roseko, talk about personal relationships, and because she's Yale, she feels a little more comfortable doing this with a droid than with another human being, which she will freely admit, at least to Echo, that this is she's trying to kind of get to know you. You can hardly go for drinks, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think for at least the first few minutes, or maybe most of this conversation, while you're playing Operation on Echo, she's just like my regulator is broken. Thank you, Operant Yale, for seeing to it.
Yeah. You're fixed now.
It seems that all systems have returned to 100% capacity. Yes.
Cool. Good. Okay. talk to you now, or do you more want to be a bit more machiney?
I am fluent in many conversational programs. What would you like to discuss, Operant Yale?
I don't know. One of the social people told me that I should be more social, so I'm trying. Okay, I'm really bad at being social. I'm good at fixing things.
Might I suggest, Operant Yale, a visit to the cantina? This unit is not particularly well outfitted for what's the word that she would use? Pleasantries.
Huh.
It was not built with this purpose in mind.
Yeah, well, not all of us are. You're gonna come with me to the cantina.
And then like it's when you ask that there's just like a hint of the tonality in her voice that comes back, and she says, is Operant Yale inviting this unit on an outing?
Yeah, I guess you could say so. You could say that.
Socializing beyond the base is not within our operational parameters, but I think I could make an exception.
Okay, cool. I mean, socializing is not one of my operation parameters either, so let's go and see if we can find something we can fix.
Well then, Yale, perhaps we can learn from each other.
That's what I was hoping for. I think that's the scene.
And scene, yeah.
Yeah, and scene with them going off.
Echo should also pick a trauma. So by default, there's a fixed list. I have put that into the chat now, and there are some descriptions attached to them. I'll note specifically outed is that your cover has been blown, but yeah, generally I think they're fairly descriptive. If you want to pick something else, that's fine. I think these I tend to read these more as suggestions than a specific list. I will note that in standard blades you get XP when you play into your trauma. Here the effect is that if your trauma makes trouble for the cell or the mission or the friction in general, you clear stress. So this is an extra way to get rid of stress. So that can be useful too.
Okay, I think I'm going to go with soft. I think that she's soft. She's becoming more of a person and less of a weapon.
Yeah, nice.
And I think I'd like to play that out in this I guess would have to be you, or I don't know. It would be since Rich isn't here. I would like to debrief, have Echo debrief with Reddick to give like a mission report or whatever. What does Reddick's like office look like? Does he have one? Does he have like?
I think we should leave that maybe for Rich. Maybe Reddick isn't there and chance you off to planning person, right? Agard, like you do that. Other thing.
Yeah, that could work. You could do a debrief with Agard. Maybe Reddick is there also, but he's kind of taking a back seat. Does that work for you, Ian?
Sure. Yeah, that's okay with me.
Cool. So Tad, you want to jump into Agard?
Yeah. So Agard is you get into Agard's office, in the headquarters, which is like this very small corner room. Doesn't have that much, just some holodeck and computers and fridge. Yeah, I got this sitting here. Another separatist. Why do you guys keep coming?
I guess I'm not sure how to respond to that, because I guess I don't know. Like we've both been a part of this outfit for at least some time. Do Echo and oh gosh, how do you pronounce this name? Do Echo and Agard like have a kind of antagonistic relationship already?
I think Agard is just antagonistic towards anyone when he has a bad day.
He's just a grumpy person.
Yeah, very.
Well, in that case, like in that case, I don't think that I wanted to find a way to like play up the softness here. You know, that's part of Echo's like trauma. And I think in the past she would have given every detail, everything that she observed. And you know, and so she's like doing this debriefing with Agard and like telling them everything that happened. And when it gets to the point where she would talk about what happened with this slicing, she says, I failed. I fumbled. It hurt too much. I didn't want to be hurt, so I let the team down.
And Agard is like still drinking and still working on his models and information. Well, you have shown a weakness, which in your case may be a good thing. That's up to you.
What is your what would she call you? I think operant is just like anybody who is working on a droid, you know, but does Agard have like a rank or anything like that?
Probably not.
Okay.
Or maybe like a chief of that's the yeah, but on the other hand, yeah, probably there is like a rank like chief of not
Chief of
what is-
operations,
yeah,
possibly.
chief of operations.
She would probably just call you chief, I think,
Yeah.
right? Instead of calling you by your name. She says, Chief, is this what all organics feel like?
No, certainly not. That's like, wait, not wanting to be hurt. Yeah, almost all of us.
How is it that you? Never mind. That concludes my report.
How do we do it? How do we deal with it? Well, I mean,
Echo is like is like halfway to the door and is like turned around to listen to what you have to say.
You just have to, you know, in all your teeth, and you have to go through it because otherwise you're just a coward.
Gnaw your
And-
teeth. All right. She says
and-
she doesn't have like a. She only has
Yeah.
like a sort of strip where her like light her mouth lights up in order to like
Yeah.
speak. You know.
Yeah.
So I think she says, thank you, Chief. I'll bear that in mind. And I think we just like cut to a shot of her like rigging a jaw for herself. She's making herself a mouth.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the scene.
Cool. So, Tad, who do you want to get for your scene?
Yeah, I think that it's time for some of the cell people to have their
Mhm.
moment in the. So, yeah, I think that Miss Avrak is, sorting through this after the mission with the rest of the team. I guess the Fixer can also be there. You know what? I think Fixer is here.
So, Papa Bulu.
Yeah, Baby Blue is here.
Hey, so that's all we got. Here, this, that. No idea what this is. Oh, it started. It lighted it up. I hand it up to you.
Right. I'm gonna do my best Anzellan voice. Yeah, good. Like that. He's sort of like sifting through the pieces, and when he finds something that he doesn't like, he'll just toss it back at you and you say, no, good.
Chadri, stop playing with that stuff. That's not a toy. That's a detonator. You should know that it's detonator.
Whenever you throw something, Uzli is there to like catch it and scurry away with it.
Oh
To-
yes, I imagine that with the whole round.
Is there any like sort of prized piece of supply or something that we got out of this?
Yeah.
droid.
Yeah, the droid also obviously.
Okay. Yeah, so then I think that this is Bababaloo like finding, like unearthing the droid and like the sort of mound of stuff, right? And giving like with its sort of like glove, like giving ERO5 like a sort of wrap on the dome, and it's like it's like sparking to life, booting into life.
Yeah, and Avrak is going through things, and instead of like pricing them as how they are useful, he just goes through it like pricing it as how much you can sell it. It's like actually pricing stuff. Hey, this is quite a catch. And it's like a. Oh yeah, it does like weird light effects, and this is quite a catch. Young people love it for parties.
Please don't sell me. I can help.
Haha, yeah, woo, party! Haha.
Oh. And yeah, this is completely worthless, but there's some materials and like yeah.
Cool. So I think we have like the camera zooming out as you're sorting through all this equipment.
Yeah, and like every few minutes she goes like, Asley, put this down. This would cut you. Dallas, stop trying to steal this thing. I see you.
Cool.
No, you
Yeah.
can't use it to upgrade your pistol. No.
Nice. Yeah. I think that's it. We have a few minutes left, so let's do stars and wishes. Start with wishes. I'm going to start with you, Tad.
Yeah, wishes. Well, I guess I would like the next mission to be something different, to have like more social aspect, or at least get some other mission, some mission that has some social aspects, because this was, I mean, it's far, it's what, you know, yeah. So that's the first thing, and I don't have anything else on top of my mind here.
Cool. Ian.
As far as a wish goes, I think that I'd like to. Well, probably Echo's going to be out of the next one way or the other, right? I think that I'd like to make another specialist and play them in the next, if that's a possibility.
Yeah, it is possible. Everyone, yeah, right. Sorry, I forgot about advancement. Everyone who was on the mission and survived gets an advance. But I think we'll deal with that next session. But one option is for one of the sparks to promote to a specialist. That will cost a resource of the equivalent of a type, depending on what kind of specialist. So it will cost one of the leadership resources. But we can get into that next session.
Okay.
Well, we still have the Slake, don't we?
Yeah, we've got Rosecco, yeah, who I was making, who had a little bit of overlap, I think, with the face. But I can kind of go in and renegotiate that. Anyway, the point is I want to try out as many different things in this game as I can regarding, you know, characters and playbooks and stuff. That's my wish.
Cool. Sabine.
I wish that Rich was there next time.
Mm-hmm.
And I also wish that I mean, the dice roller did us all right at the end. So yeah, okay.
Took pity on us.
It took pity on us. That was nice. So yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'd also like to do a social kind of mission thingy. That sounds like an interesting thing, or a stealing heisty mission thingy. I would like a heist mission. That would be fun, I think.
Cool.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think we have 2 more sessions. I think if one of the missions is a bit faster than this one, then we can probably do 2 more missions. But we're not going to get more than 2 missions unless we like really speed run something. Yeah, because next session we'll need to do the like the whole planning thing again. So
and we need to see how the second mission comes out, right?
Yeah. But that's just one roll. So, but yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, but I think that now that we understand it, we could do like world planning and the mission in one session, theoretically, maybe.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, the planning will be a lot faster now that we have a better feel for how that works. Yeah. So Sabine, stars.
Oh, stars! Lots of stars. This was a fun session. It went smoother than I anticipated. Not the mission itself, but the rules section of it, because it was a standard Fates thing, right? But yeah, I liked Echo, poor Echo. I especially enjoyed the scenes at the end. Yeah, I enjoyed the scenes at the end. And Tad, thanks for taking care of all of our little spaceport kids. That was fun. it was nice to see all of them running around and doing stuff. So yeah, and Anders, thank you for running this and for continuing to help us along with the rules sections.
Cool. Ian.
Yeah, star to Tad for juggling all of those characters at once. It's a lot of names to remember, and also, you know, to make them at the beginning of the session and then immediately play 6 characters at once is like it's a lot to manage.
Yeah.
And also I think for the moment where Yale was like, I like Echo, but for the sake of this job, we need to leave her behind, is like perfect for me. Yeah, those are my stars.
Cool, thank you. Tad.
Yeah, first star to you for managing the rules and everything. I've read like twice through everything, and I'm still, I still miss things that, yeah, that are obvious. So I have no idea how much time you have spent on it. Yeah, and star to certainly Echo and Yale conversation, and in the end, and yeah, to the Echo's whole like storyline through this. I guess it was like only like consistent storyline through this mission as like person who met from point A to point B, but I mean it's I understand it's not, but yeah, I liked it. Would love to have more like actual, yeah. So those are the stars.
Cool. Most of my stars have been taken, but a star to all of you for committing to like the I don't know how to put it, like leaning into all the successes and failures. I think letting the dice do their thing and saying yes to the dice. I think that's that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I'm sad Rich couldn't be here. His boss is an evil person who should stop pulling him away from our fun games. But that's the way it goes sometimes. It's not Rich's fault. And I'm a star to Rich for managing the Zoom and recording from remotely. So that's an extra star for that. Yeah. See you all next week.
Yeah.
Cool. I will ask Rich to end the recording.